Good morning, good afternoon for those who will be seeing the replay. And as we kill a little time getting those to join us here going live, of course, I never schedule these things when I should, but I just came back from my doctor visit and he was very happy with what he sees happening with the treatment that I'm getting. So I said it'd be a good time to go live after seeing the doctor and getting a good report from him on my treatment. Welcome um, to both of the viewers who are here and those who are joining on. My name is Samuel Tolbert. I am I'll go 50-year retired church musician, 48 years consecutively serving three denominations: the Kojic Church for 25 years, the Baptist Ministry for 19 months, and the United Methodist Church for 19 straight years. So I consider myself an accomplished church musician in that nobody threw me out. I left on my own accord for the reasons that I had. So what I share rather is from personal experience, not from something I've seen, watched, or heard, but something in which I had to put all myself into. Being able to serve the church through gospel music. But along the way, I found out that gospel music has a lot of ingredients. And that's what I share here on this channel. The ingredients that make the traditional gospel sound what it has been, what it could be, and along with all of the um, additional sounds, which are now urban gospel, contemporary gospel, the CCM style, and I'm still anthem spirituals, and hymn relevant also. So what I look to do on this channel is first of all serve the church musician community by sharing openly what I've learned, what I have experienced, and how I can help guide them through what I did not have was an actual mentor to say, go here, go there musically, don't do this, but do that. So this is why this channel has existed now. We're into our see since 2006. So we're in year, and I just had a YouTube anniversary. I believe it was year 18. Yes, this is the 18th year, if I got that correct. 2006, 2000. Yep, 18th year that I have been here on the YouTube avenue, sharing uh, freely basically what I can. Of course, now I do have, as you can see, a Patreon page and a Cash App, which I allow those who feel they want to support this work. They're free to do that. There is no obligation to do that. On the Patreon page, the link you see there, I'm able to give more in-depth um, insights into gospel music and the very path that I took musically, one on one, you might say, along with those. So I do appreciate those who have been supporting me on the Patreon page. As you know, you see those workbooks which I have now scrolling on this live view page. Those who have joined the Patreon page, you got those books for free, along with the audio files for the Christmas book, which will allow you to be able to practice the chords in which not only I've shown you, but that you have learned on your own with the very in depth information that I have provided. So I'm having this conversation as those of you are coming in. Yes, Sister Morris and Sister Corey, Brother Naskis. Thank you all for coming on and for those that are watching. So, what do I do here? Musically, I share. Now, I have a live viewer request podcast that I try to do on Saturday mornings now, along during the week. But because I'm involving myself now in the production of vocals using artificial intelligence, that has taken away my time to be able to work on all of the viewer requests. So I may touch on some of them. Let me just see. what I have still in the queue that has come in this week, which may be easy to do. Let's see. Oh, okay, I only have three. I guess I'm not getting that many requests. Well, I've got close to 470 viewer requests already done and on the channel. Let's see. They're looking for The Anointing by John P. Key, The Will of God, A flat. That must be the Karen Clark version, I think. They didn't say who. And It's Good to Know Jesus. Okay, so I may still keep those for Saturday. She's a member of Patreon. Who's that? Joyce. Oh, welcome, Joyce. Alrighty. So, what should I do? I haven't warmed up yet. So, and what's always good for me, if you watched any of my pre-recorded videos, you will see that I purposely go over a major scale warm up of the key we're going to be in. That is psychological for me. If I have you do that every time you look at a video, you will begin to embrace the concept of every note that you would play is on a built upon a type of scale. So let me do that. Let me warm up before I have all this conversation, because I do like to talk with those who are also coming in. Let's go to this page. So this is the work spot. This is the work spot. Whenever I do come on live, this is where I go to share with musicians. Now, as I say, I'm going to be evolving this channel. It's going to go beyond gospel, because gospel music now, the music, the tone, the fabric of it is now has embraced a lot of what we call secular music chords, the R&B chords, the jazz chords. Why keep you in the dark as to why those chords are placed around the song? Let me just put those around the song for you. Let's go to the key of C. I'm going to check my Chordy app, make sure that I'm in the key of C, because I'm going to give you a secret, if that's a good way to put it, of the mixture of chords. Okay, we're in C. Key of C. Now I haven't warmed up correctly, so my left hand is not in sync. There is a correct fingering that you want to do. This is the correct fingering as you're looking at my hands across the keys. And as you can see, my hand does not come up from the keyboard. I'm not playing like this, but I'm allowing my fingers to float across the keys. The same on the left hand. I often hear my elderly musicians at church saying, learn playing the piano the right way by learning principles. Can you explain what that means? Learning principles more like how, when, why, what, where. Noski's, when you look at life, and I guess I can have to put it in this aspect, because I'm 68 years old, still able to drive, still able to go out and shoot some basketballs, out there doing my own gardening, cutting grass, pulling weeds, still able to exercise and lift, bend and bow, as you say, without any pain, because I applied the principles of life. Getting plenty of rest, drinking water enough to keep the body flushed and pure, the inside of your body pure, eating what's healthy. Every now and then I had White Castle after I left the doctor, because I hadn't had White Castle in a while, but that'll be my only cheat for the rest of this month. Taking care of my ears by not allowing myself to absorb loud music constantly. Being respectful to my elders, but also being conscious that sometimes you got to be respected back. So you give what you get, but you don't throw it back out. Those are principles. When you look at when I looked at playing the piano, I didn't have a teacher to sit me down and slap me on the wrist to say, hold your knuckles up, don't play flat, don't be up on the piano like this. I didn't have that. So all I had was what I could absorb from watching on television or from listen to other people play. When I learned how to do this by looking at a book to show me how my fingers are supposed to be curved, and this is what you will see in my course book that you can download for free on my Patreon page. When I saw how my fingers are supposed to be formed, I says, oh, okay, so that's where they should be whenever I'm getting ready to play. Then when I watch other people play, I notice that they float across the keys also. So when you start with the basics of Piano 101, and I call that Piano 101, that's when, again, I didn't have Piano 101. I had Let Me Try and Figure It Out 101 for Sam. But when I began to apply the basics that they have in those books, the principles, all of a sudden, everything I wanted to reach musically became, I'm now able to reach that. Because I used to watch players go across the keys and wonder how are they able to do more than one octave? How are they able to switch and go across? Once I got down the actual principles, and I am practicing while I'm talking to you, I'm not paying attention. I can now see how they did that, how they so easily would switch keys, because the principles were learn the basics first. Now, we love to throw words in and apply words to, like, I'll put it like from a cook standpoint. If you like ketchup on your French fries, you might not like ketchup on your cereal, but it's still something that is edible. How something tastes, we like something to taste based upon how it tastes. It might still be good for us, but it don't look right, doesn't look like it should be there. It's just, for me, it's the same thing with music. When I listen to music, I'm listening to the actual artistry put in place for it. Yes, there's some music that I frown upon because I don't hear what I'm expecting to hear. I'm always in the mode of I want to learn something from somebody playing that I don't know. Now, yes, there's an old saying I heard preachers once said, the two times a preacher wants to preach is when another preacher really preached or another preacher didn't preach. Same thing for a musician. A musician really wants to play when he hears another musician sit there and just roll off all these chords, and when he hears another musician do that. It's like, oh man, you just messed up the actual artistry of what music is about. It's about creating a sound, which is why my company name I chose was Sound of Joy, is that it should always leave the listener feeling better than they did. Welcome, James. Feeling better than they did before you played, which means you have got to be at your best every time you sit there to play. Yes, there'll be a time when a better musician comes after you, and then they wow the congregation. I've lived through that, and I never let that bother me because I want the better musician to come after me. Now, of course, in my day, I'm not sure about this today, it may be different now, but the better musician would not share how they got better. But if I can listen to them, and God forbid I have a tape recorder or a way to record what they're doing, I'll go home and I'll go, okay, what did he just do? He went here, I heard this, then he went this. Nope, that's not what he did. He did this. No, what did he do? He did this, did that. Oh, that's what he did. Chromatically going up chords. And then I will go and start going up further than what I heard him do or her, because I want to be able to be educated musically so that I can hear what they're doing. Then I'll flip it. That's what I did my entire life as a learning church musician, because I was in church when I was playing. Was I perfect? Was I at the level where I am now? No. but I was at a level where any song I was tasked to learn, I could go home, put out an album because I still have some of the albums here down here in my basement. Move the needle over to the song I'm supposed to learn, and there were no headphones back then, so I had to make sure it wasn't too loud enough to actually disturb the household and learn what was happening in the song. Now you heard me do the video. Thank You Lord with using my AI singers. I learned Thank You Lord when it first came out. Was I playing those exact chords? No. But I learned it well enough to be able to learn it for the choir. Because I understand the range of notes given to my left hand, the range of notes given to my right hand, I listen for the highest note, the lowest note, and then all the other notes were in between there. When you're learning as a musician, if you don't have a structured mindset that says, I want to learn the easy stuff first and build on that. Too many musicians want all the chords, but they don't want the melody. Well, the melody is based on the scales, and the chords are based on the scales. You can't play a chord without seeing the scale that it is built on. Now, yes, a lot of musicians have learned how to manipulate the notes on the keyboard. My hat's off to them. I had to learn songs. I couldn't learn how to manipulate chords. I had singers in the choir that couldn't hit their notes in time, so I had to play 3-part harmony all the time. 3-part harmony. I couldn't do that because I had singers that were vocally tone challenged. So I learned their parts. Whatever their notes were, I had to be ability to hear their notes because I took the opportunity to structure my mindset to listen to the scale notes, listen to the range in which the song is for those singers, both soprano, alto, tenor. We didn't have any bass singers there, and then support them with those notes. So I hope I give you an idea what the older piano players were saying. Sometimes depending upon the era, I use that word, era being, are they from the 60s, 70s, 80s musicians, the music began to change rapidly during the 60s. This is when my father was playing and I was still in 60s. I was probably 8 years old. Yeah, in the 60s, 8 years old. I didn't really start getting involved in music really fully until I got into high school when I began to learn to play the French horn and I was introduced to the classical sound and the big band sound. All of a sudden, my ears were awakened to, oh, it's not just only church music, but look at how all this big band music sounds. But how was I going to learn to play that if there was no one around to show me how to play that? Well, that's where my ear came into context. I had to remember everything I did in high school band, go to the piano and try to figure out, okay, nope, that's too low. No, that's too, oh, that's where that note was. Okay, and then the other note was this. What was the third note? Oh, man. Nope, that's not it. Again, without a book or reference for me to be able to relate to, or someone to say, hey, what you heard was this, it's played in this key, it's played in this style. I've spent a lot of years trying to figure it out on my own before a book began to show it to me. I don't want to go get it. I have several chord books. I'm looking at them now, all stacked up. Every now and then I will pull them out to show you where I got good at, and that was knowledge of reference books that spoke about chords, that spoke about scales. In fact, because this is always good that I do pull this out to let you know that I didn't just happen. I actually had to work. So let me just take a quick step over here. because I always believe in sharing truth. Just change this view. Okay, here's the truth of Sam. I didn't just start playing. Not until I started to invest in books, and in these books they had chords, hundreds of chords in every key. I didn't invest in one book. I invested in several books, 3,300 chord references. Now, this one is in the sheet music format. But when you're looking at hymnals, I wanted to know what can I add to what I'm playing in hymnals. This is what popular chords and progressions chart. This other stuff I have here. Piano scales. The CD still in there. See, the CD is gone, which means it used to be a CD right there that you could play to. Information. There we go. In fact, you will see some of this in the chord book, workbook that I put together, because it helped me to understand the nature of harmonic chords. You will see that in my chord book. When I briefly go on my jazz journey, there's my scales for improvisation. I haven't really spent as much time in this book that I should have, but when I'm ready to go into it, there goes my jazz chord and all the different scales that represent the language of jazz. Thompson's Modern Course for the Piano. This is when I started to invest in myself. And there you will see they show you the proper way to hold your hands when you're playing. And because I was an instrumentalist, I already knew how to read notes. And this is just some of the books that I've invested in. What I've done for this channel is that I've made everything that I've invested in that helped me become more proficient in learning music, if you want to call it by ear, I say by hearing. It made it possible for me to look at a piano keyboard, and through the discipline of memory and wanting always to get as much knowledge as I can and then to apply it, I became able to float across the keys. These are the type of the things that I would practice as a youngster. And right at middle C. So the discipline, and I will use that word versus learning principles. Learning the actual discipline helped me train my hearing to understand where the high notes are, where the low notes are, and then all the notes in between, where I would just go and locate where it normally should be placed. Now, that is the one issue that I have with those who use the transpose button. That should always be middle C. If you use a transpose button because it's easier, because you got to play in B major, and you don't want to play in B major because you're good in C. So hey, I'll just flick a button down. Nobody will know. You're right. Nobody will know that you're using a transpose button, but you've now damaged your ability to recognize where middle C is. Now you will see other. If you got to play on a real piano, you're going to have a trouble locating this tone. I believe it's A440, if I can remember it right. For me, middle C is how I resonate chords. Middle C is also used in C major. It's used in A flat. It's used in C minor. It's a 6th chord in E flat. It's a 3rd in the F chord. I hear that note all the time. So whenever I hear that note in any song, I immediately know where it's what chord is being supported by middle C. I do that every time unconsciously. I often wonder sometimes, can I play in the dark? I do practice with my eyes closed. Once I find where my notes are, then I can lock into what they call muscle memory. So what I wanted to demonstrate, not just the scales, but the ability to float across the scales, and then I believe it's the Marvin Sapp song, Never Would Have Made It. All up and down the C scale. The only changes is this. In the flat 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, flat 7th, that tone. There's my C. There's my C, my C, my C, my C. So for me, I can find a note that is going to be common to the chords that I hear in everything gospel or everything R&B, and then lock in on that. For me. And what you see me doing right now is I'm running through so many other chords I've learned in so many different songs, from cartoon, from gospel, from R&B, and I am letting my hands warm up. They're still a little tight. Do you always have to warm up in the key of C? No, you can warm up the key of A major if you want to. Pick a key, B major. Pick a key. That's the one you warm up in. I always, if I had a favorite key, it's probably going to be A flat, only because it's more church centered. If I want to get out of myself, then I'll go to the key of A major, because I don't do a lot in A major. But once I do go there, I listen to all the adjacent keys. If you can play an A major. A major is fingering is similar to what you would have in D major. As far as the fingering, this is A up, this is D up. There it is. That's the only difference. That note. And let's see. Okay, this note is similar. So if you're practicing one key, muscle memory wise, you go to that key of A major, then you will find it easier to move your fingers across it, because your finger pretty much emulates the same path except for one note sharp. What was I doing? Everything. Never would have made it. Never would have made. I don't sing. I don't have I haven't programmed that song into my AI choir, but I will. That's the only change. Flat 7. Right up the scale. Stronger and wiser. All jazz turns. 1, 7, 3, 6, 5, 1, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 1. For those who use the number system, but if you notice, the chords I'm using are not the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the number system, the Nashville system, but they are the chords which have been assigned based upon where they're being pulled from, what style of music. This is not a 7 chord. That's a 7 chord, but when you drop this in there, you're changing the whole tone of it. This is not a 3 chord. This is a 3 chord. But for what you want to assign underneath the melody's up here, it fits. There it is. Now, could be a 6 chord, because we do have these 2 notes, but that's the 6 chord. If you were to play the Nashville number system on this song, it would sound like something is missing. Never would have made it 6. Never would have 6 or 5 and a 1 or 3, a 2, a 5, a 1. Number system is great for getting you started, but that's not where you should stop. You should want to hear all the notes in the major scale that are being used, so that when you hear a note that's not being used, like this one, you know where it came from. When I say a flat or sharp, flat or sharp from that major scale will show you what notes they're being used. And what this song does for me, it helps me to get my fingers in sync. You see the left hand is doing bass, the lowest note, and assist chords. All right, so those are the type of warm-up things that I like to do. And again, C is not the only key that you should warm up in. I like going chromatically. Same changes. Let the right hand and the left hand work together on unison. And, of course, if you got a lot of keys in front of you, take advantage of them. F. The jazz turns. I used to practice that a lot. Let me see. What was it? No. I haven't done this in a while. Haven't done this in a long time. This way, if I heard it being used in a song, I could easily find the fingering. So if I were to go to the key of A major and do Never Would Have Made It, hmm, hmm, there it is. There it is. There it is. Walk up. E. There we go. Took some time to look it up, to look for it and find it. Had to adjust my ears to what I'm looking for. Then look at the keyboard to see where those notes should be found. And this is all part of practicing and creating an actual discipline. Right now, I have no song that I'm really locked in. I just used that one as an example because I was in the key of C with my warm up. But you could apply that to any song if you're doing I Surrender All, going down C. All using the major scale. Yes, I went outside of it a couple of times, but I'm trying to stay within the major scale. Two. Now pick a song that may be a little bit more familiar to you. No, I can't use that song. I've already been copyrighted on that one. I'm trying to think which one I can use. I can use that song. Can I use that song? Hallelujah. Salvation and glory, glory and honor unto the Lord our God. All in the melody. Yes, the Lord our God is mighty. Yes, the Lord our God is omnipotent. The Lord our God is wonder. Right in the scales. Entire song is in the major scale except for the one time that they go out of it, which is again either sharp or flat to give you that tone, and then the rest of the song falls into place. all from practicing scales. Every song is built on a scale. Pick the one that most aligns with the path of the melody. If it's a minor scale, then you will play the chords that are relative minor. Especially if you're doing the song like, can I touch on that one? For Every Mountain, which is in F, but we'll do it in C. G. B major. No. What key would that be? I'm changing the key right now. Let's see. Every mountain, every trial, it helps me through. Major 7, every lesson. F minor. Hallelujah for this. Ooh, E major. If I give you praise. So now I had to let my ears tell me this is where the notes should be going. You're not in the correct key. Find the scale that the song is in, which is the C minor. What's in the C minor scale? Find the chords are there. D sharp. G, yes. Back to C minor with a G. Again, I'm taking it out of context, but showing you the context that just knowing what the scales are, you can find the chords because they are built on those scales. Piano practice for me became a joy when I got the theory underneath me that was missing when I first started attempting to replicate what I could hear. Then I could now listen to any song, which is generally gospel because we weren't allowed to play anything else in the house. Doesn't mean that I didn't hear it on the radio. Let me see. Mario Brothers. D. That's all I learned from it. But I would listen to music and I go, wait, what if I wrote that? But the movement of the notes became a lot easier from just practicing the movement of scale notes. And then I began to get both fingers to work together. Not just the 3 in the front, but the 2 in the back. The 2 in the back. Wow. There we go. I used to practice this. For those that are Trekkies, which I am one because I was raised in that era, I would practice this to be able to see if I could manipulate thumbs together, pinkies together on both hands, stretch it out, manipulate this one. The 4th finger is always the hardest one to manipulate. Let's see. Yeah, get them to bend. There we are. Without the pinky moving. That's always been the hardest. See, the right hand has got good at it. The left hand still. Come on. The left hand. I'm trying to get the left hand to move just the fourth finger. Right hand has gotten good at it because I use the right hand primarily all the time. The left hand supports chords. If I, there we go. And of course, if I held all the three, pinky by itself, held all three, pinky by itself. There we go. But I would use that for that would be my way of training my fingers to move. If I wanted to be this one, I should be able to manipulate which finger is going to be playing that note. Because if that one is doing that, the others are free to do this. They're free to do this one, free to do that one, free to do this one. And get them all working in harmony together or independently. Because you never know when you might hear somebody do something and you want to go sit to the keyboard and go, okay, I got the chord, but how did they move their fingers to do that? I still can't do this, and I've been working on it because I'm watching other creators teach how to run across. Let me see, pick a chord. I'm still working on this to do an arpeggio run. 3 fingers down, 3 fingers down, 3 fingers down, 3 fingers down. I'm used to doing this. Just jumping across with my thumb, but it's so much easier to. And I will get it because I have a desire to be able to learn the correct way to do arpeggios. But for now, it's the same thing as if you're using the actual transpose button to sound great in every key. I have my shortcuts because of lack of training. With the proper training, you'll never touch the transpose button. In fact, you will want to know why do they even put one on a keyboard. Just making sure I don't miss any questions. Let's see. Let's pull up my AI singers because they've been giving me an excellent resource for practicing my chord movement behind the soloist. And let's see who we can pull up. We'll do Blessed Assurance. And I believe the singer has it in the key of D flat. Just verify that.
Blessed assurance.
Oh, it is in C. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. Put it in C. And let's slow her down a bit. Okay, slow her down to 100 beats per minute. Now, this is how I recommend musicians to practice. Having a melody that is purely sung, and then the chords that you're learning, you form them around that melody. So here we go, Blessed Assurance, key of C.
Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Oh, what a foretaste of glory divine.
Jazz.
Heir of salvation, purchase of God, born of His Spirit,
Jazz.
washed in His blood. This is my story.
Number system 5,
This is my
1, 3,
story.
4,
This is
1,
my song.
6,
Praising my
2, stay in the 2,
Savior
1 over 5.
This is my
Oh.
story.
I made it purpose to the lesson.
This is my song.
Now we're in D flat C sharp.
Praising my Savior all the day long.
Contemporary.
This is my story. This is my song. Praising my Savior
Turn around.
all the day long. Praising my Savior all the day long.
Little abstract chord. There's my C chord. When you want to experiment musically, you want to have something to experiment with. Just to play chords indiscriminately might sound good, but when you have a song that you can actually experiment with, I'm gonna bring in my tenor voice. Let's see. Where are you now? Excuse me a second. I gotta find my tenor voice. Discard, no changes, right? Where are you? Where are you at, guy? Okay, let's look for you over here. Should be My Life is in Your Hands. That's what I'm looking for. Don't know where it went. What happened to My Life is in Your Hands? Give me a second. Let me switch this. Hate to have you looking at my side. Okay, here's another folder. I bet you're in there. There it is. The Kirk Franklin, My Life is in Your Hands, is another lesson in quoting not just gospel, but the actual contemporary gospel sound. Wrong page. There we go. So I did this one in the key of B flat. It's originally done in E flat, but I wanted to have a male voice singing the unison part. So let's see. B flat. Looking at the scales. The bass chords that can be found there in that scale. Knowing the path of the song. So this helps me to hear the melody when it's going to be in a different range, and now to chord around that melody.
You don't have to worry,
Just chording.
and don't you be afraid. Joy comes in the morning, troubles they don't last always.
7, 6,
For there's a friend
2,
named Jesus
5,
who will wipe your tears
1,
away.
7, 6,
And if your heart
2,
is broken,
5,
just lift your hands
1,
and say,
7, 6,
I
I'm
know
1,
that
3,
I can make it.
4, 5,
I know
sharp to
that
5 to the
I
6,
can stand.
3,
No matter what
4,
may come my
6,
way,
2,
my life is
5,
in your
1.
hands.
Now add the different chain.
So when your tests and trials, they seem to get you down, and all your friends and loved ones are nowhere to be found.
7, 3, 6,
Remember there's a friend named Jesus
4 to 5,
who will wipe your
6,
tears
7, 1, 7, 3,
and
6,
if your heart
a 2
is
major,
broken,
5, 4, 4,
just
5,
lift your
6,
hands
7,
and
1,
say,
5,
"Oh, I
3,
know that I can
4,
make it. I know
6,
that I
3,
can
6,
stand. No
3,
matter what may
4,
come my
6,
way,
2,
my life is
5,
in your
1.
hands.
Now that's great if you understand, if you're used to playing in B flat. But what if you took that same singer down or up to B major? So now we're in B major. This is the practice, the way to practice for the future. Not just one key, but several keys. B major,
You don't have to worry,
same pattern.
and don't you be afraid.
6, 7,
Joy
1,
comes
3,
in the
4,
morning,
5,
troubles they don't
7,
last always.
7, 3,
For
6,
there's a friend named
4,
Jesus
5,
who will wipe your
7,
tears
1,
away.
7, 3,
And
6,
if your heart is
2,
broken,
with a major, 5,
just lift your
7,
hands
6,
and say,
1. I get the note. 6,
"Oh,
7,
I know that
flat,
I can make it.
5,
I know
sharp to
that
5
I
to the
can
6,
stand.
6, 7,
No
1,
matter
3,
what may
4,
come my way,
6,
my
2,
life is
5,
in your
1,
hands.
6,
So
7,
when
1,
your tests and trials,
5, no,
they
3, 6,
seem to get you down,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1,
and all your
3,
friends and loved
4,
ones
5,
are nowhere
7,
to be
6, 1,
found.
3,
Remember
6,
there's a friend named Jesus
4, 5 is coming
who
up,
will wipe your
6,
tears
7, 1, 7, 3, 7, 2, 6,
If your heart is broken,
a 2 in major with a 7th,
just lift
5,
your hands
6,
and
7,
say,
1, 4, 5,
"Oh, I
1,
know that
3,
I can make it.
4,
I
5,
know that I
sharp to
can
6, 8 the number
stand.
system.
No matter what may come my way, my life is in your hands.
I'm looking at my bass hand to call the numbers out, just to show you how difficult it is for me to learn anything with the number system, because the number system is a guide. It is not the whole truth to music, unless, of course, the song you have is built squarely on that. Even then, you want to be able to go outside of it. Right in the scales. Anyway, can't play in the key of B. That's because you don't practice in the key of B. This is the demonstration I'm showing, that you got to practice not only in one key, not in your favorite key, not in the key you're most comfortable in the key that you're not comfortable in, because you're going to find all of a sudden it's really not that hard, because you take the time to hear the notes, especially of any song. Let's pull up an easier song in key of B. Put that back to there. Let's see. That's an easy one. Nope, that's the wrong song. Where's the other one at? Sorry for my side. My computer is on the back side of me. Could use that one. I could use that one too. Oh, I know I did that one already. I'm gonna go to Lean on Me. I used a male chorus group, a male singers to do Lean on Me. Very easily built. I believe I did it in the key of B flat. Yes. So we're going to move it to the key of B major, because it is a 100% number system in its format. So we're moving everybody up to B major. And let's just solo, because I believe I put additional vocals on it. So Lean on Me. Sometime in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that then there's always tomorrow. B major. We're going to look at the scale number 1, starting with the lowest note, because you want to hear the whole range. Go at least 2 ranges. See how I made a mistake on that note? Go back, start over, slow down. Know that the thumbs have the D, or the E rather. And because of the range is of a male tenor voice, we know that we're going to be chording below the melody. Really? Put it in the wrong key. Let me go back. What key did I put this in?
Times in our life, we all have pain.
All right, we want to go down to. We want to go down to B. One voice, solo U, take you down to B. That's what I want. You can do this with technology.
Sometimes in our life.
I'm looking at a virtual keyboard and not paying attention to where the notes are because I want this in B major. Just one voice. When I play a song, the same song, but change the key sounds different song a bit. The number system helps in this respect. Well, yes, the number system is a guide, but the melody is a better guide because the melody will actually show you where the song is going. So now that you can select extended chords or additional chords to support the same path of the song.
Sometimes in our life.
Right in the scales.
We all have pain. We all have sorrow.
Or down here.
But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me.
Right in the scales.
If you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call.
Let me take him out of the mud. And let's take him up a full octave. Get him out of the mud. Click. All right, he's out of the mud. Let's try that again. Hopefully you're not screaming though.
Sometimes in our life, we all have pain.
Find your chords.
We all have
5,
sorrow.
1,
But if we are wise,
2,
we know that there's
5,
always tomorrow.
1,
Lean on me if you're not strong.
4,
And I'll be your friend.
1,
I'll help you
5,
carry on.
1,
For it won't
4,
be long till I'm gonna
1,
need somebody
5.
to lean on.
So, what did we just demonstrate there? The scales and the number system will work with this song. Why? Because it was written in the number system. 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1. Entire song written in the number system. This is where the number system helps with the musician who's never heard this song before. The gospel musician looks at this same song and says, oh yeah, I know where the melody is going. I got these gospel chords, which are based off of jazz and classical music and contemporary. And they go,
Sometimes in our life, we all have pain. We all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me if you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
both are correct. One has got a little more meat sauce added. Spaghetti's fine with by itself if you add a little bit of Parmesan cheese and spaghetti. But the minute you add meat sauce, which is what all of these chord changes are, they are additional enhancements to the number system chords. All of a sudden, the entire, and as if you were listening, the entire song changed. The vocalist didn't, the same notes, But because I added all these embellishments, improv, and chord sweeteners, as some people say, the actual sweet chords. Oh, thank you, Sister Morris. How you doing, Blue Key? Yeah, I can touch on it. I can't play it exactly because YouTube will not like that. But I can actually touch on that song. Um, all of a sudden, the melody, it's almost though the singer is singing better with the additional chords, and because this is a programmed vocal, nothing changed. But the approach by the music, I made it snappier. Now you're like, oh, now he's really singing now. No, the music changed, and that is the effect that gospel music has in the church. It can be solemn, I'll say somewhat sad, but the minute that you add a little spice to it, a little bit of seasoning, a little brighter chords, put a little pop to it, all of a sudden now you get more engaged with what the lyrics are singing. Going Up Yonder, key of D flat. Again, I learned these songs when they first came out. Let me see. I got to be careful. I can't do too much. Right up the scales. And I like when they do. I learned all of that I could hear from the song. Going up yonder. There's a flat seventh in there. Then it resolves. E. Let me see. Yes. Rather E flat. Going up yonder. And I'm doing this purposely because the YouTube algorithm does pay attention when I do play songs. So I gotta talk through it if though I'm doing actual commentary and not just doing a performance, because then the copyright software kicks in YouTube and says, hey, you're infringing on the copyright of the song. I can take the pain. This is the change, which is the 2-5, 1-2, 5, 1 going to the G flat. That's the chord they're using. Now they're back into the D flat chord with the 2. Flat 7 or 2-5-1. F in G flat 2-5-1. 6 2 back in D flat 2-2. Remember I said this one, but if you fill it out and give it that jazz tone, resolve, which is another 2-5-1, 2-5 to the B flat 1. Going up yonder. Going up yonder. As long as I don't play the melody, I can do that. Going up yonder. As long as I play straight chords like that with no melody, I think I'm safe. To be with my Lord or be with the Lord, I forget. And you can end on that one. Another song built on the framework of the scales and yes, the number system. the scales. There it is. And it's just like a broken pentatonic scale. G flat seventh, I believe. Oh, I'm sorry. I am not on the right screen. I gotta do all that again. Okay. I wasn't paying attention to my screen. I was looking at the comments and not paying attention to the screen. So, if you want to know where I'm going, passing tone. Where am I going? Where I am going. Soon. If anybody asks you, it's flat 7 passing tone. Where am I going? The 4. But this chord to support that chord, as you can see, I've got the 4 chord in there. But look at how I am stretching it out, which is the jazz tone. Where am I going? Passing tone to the 2, where I'm going. Now a 5, but a 5 chord in the number system is this. But you're using this chord. The only thing that is 5 about this chord is the lowest note. No other chord in this chord is a 5 chord, but that's where your bass note is. Now your 1. Your turn chord 7, 3, your 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5, 1. Now you can pick your way you want to go. You can go 4, 5, 6. I get these spam calls all the time. 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, back to the 5. 1. Then back to the O. O. Now you can throw a diminish in there. I'm going up yonder, going up yonder. Up yonder, going up yonder to be with my Lord. I'm just pausing a little bit so that I don't offend the YouTube algorithm. There's really not much in that song. Once you get the pattern down, in the scales, I should be able to get this. Ah. Again, all scales, all chords are built on a scale. This chord is in the D flat major scale. It's just which notes are you leaving out to give you that sound. And you go a half step down. Trying to hear a different tone. I'm hearing a different change. Adding that minor element, which is what the gospel music like to use. Resolve it. I'm confusing the YouTube algorithm from listening. Showing you where everything is built off of a major scale or a minor scale or a jazz. What is the jazz minor scale? And once you get your mind fixated on taking advantage of whatever scale the song leads you to, which is what you see me doing. When it goes to that minor, I can think minor. And throw the jazz in there. Then it's going to go to that major turning chord on the seventh. Which is what the preacher chords do. Now I know it's going to go to the minor. Which change do I want to use? Do I want to go to the... Or do I want to go to the... Or do I want to go to the... Nope. There it is. I'm going up yonder. Turn. Going up yonder to be with my Lord. Or if I be able to show you enough, and hopefully I don't get the notification from YouTube that they heard something playing in the background. But this is how much enjoyment a musician should get for not just playing the music. Because sometimes playing the music is the end part of practicing. Practicing is where all your enjoyment should come. Look at all the different ways I can approach this particular song in that particular key. If I had to do it in E major, two, yeah, 2, 5. Jazz turn. Right up the scales. I know the change is going to be here, a C sharp. This is going to take me to the F sharp. E to the C minor. 7, 4, no 5. There it is. I have to look for the bass to see where my chord is going to be. It's only practice. That's all it is. And all you see me doing is I've never played that song in the key of E major. So I'm looking at the notes. Like I said, when I started making the mistakes, I'm like, okay, I'm in the key I'm not recognized being in. Follow your rules. Find the scale. Look at where your bass is going, the lowest note is going to be. What chords do you normally do to go from this chord to go to a 6 chord? That's my usual change, 2, 5, 1. And because I'm in E major, I know that the E minor scale, no, E major, the sixth chord in the E major scale is a C sharp minor. Here it says D minor because that is the chord app is set to something different. But it would say C sharp minor because it is in the E major scale, which has 4 sharps. Because I know that this chord is going to resolve around the A flat 7th chord. Then I'm going to come out of that. Now I know it's going to be a 4 is going to be in the A scale. So this chord is give me that minor sound or the major sound. One note give me the minor. And because I play in the key of G, I know I can do 2, 5, 1. Now all the other chords can now open up to me. Because that's what I practice. As I say, you practice so that when you go to perform, you have a wealth of chords, structures, movements, tones available to you. The less you have to apply to any song you're going to play, the more you will lock into what's easy and what's comfortable. Do I play in E major a lot? No. Do I challenge myself in E major? Of course. But once I go there, I know I'm not going to have to play there. But if I do have to, it's never an issue. All right, let's take these guys back to their original key. And let's see what else. What time is it? Okay, I've been on an hour and 32 minutes, another half an hour, and then I will come off of this. Again, this is an impromptu live, giving some demonstration as to how much fun not only practicing music is, but when you're ready to apply it, how much fun it can be. Let's pull up, because I don't think you've heard this one yet. This one will get me a copyright, and that's okay. Because I'm going to play the chords around it, but the melody is going to get me a copyright. But you haven't heard this one yet. Total Praise. Total Praise I scripted this one early when I was doing the AI Singers. You've heard an actual snippet of it, but now you get to hear the AI version, my AI version of Total Praise. And the chords I'm going to sculpt around it in the key of D flat. Because what musicians enjoy doing is what they call reharmonizing a song. But what I find, why won't it come up? What a lot of musicians do is they tear the song apart, reharmonizing everything. Why is this not showing up? Oh, there it is. I'm looking to see where the song is going to start. They really mess up the song by changing every chord in the song. When you want to reharm a song or reharmonize it, you want to still keep the integrity of the song in the midst of reharmonizing it. Those are the palette of chords I'm going to potentially use to support what's happening. So I will take the YouTube strike on this one, because if I don't show you how I do it, then it's not fair for you. Here we go. Total praise, AI.
Lord, I will lift mine eyes to the hills, knowing my help is coming from you. Your peace you give me in times of storm. You are the source of my strength. You are the strength of my life. I lift my hands in total praise to you. You are the source of my strength. You are the strength of my life. I lift my hands in total praise to you.
So yes, I did enough there to reharmonize the chords. And I was all over the place on that purposely to show you where if you just do too many chords on a song that has a certain structure to it, how horrible it can sound. And I did that purposely to show you that when musicians feel that they can change a song that has an established path to it, it does not sit well with the listener. Now I'll take the YouTube copyright strike just for the actual singing part of it purposely, because I want to show you how destructive the mindset of a musician could be if you feel that, well, I know how to play it better than the person who wrote it. Some songs you can get away with that. Testimony service song, you can do that all the way up and down. Some established songs which have decades of history behind particular chord changes, no. And if any of musicians that know of me see this video and say, "Oh, well, you are against reharmonizing a song," yes, I am. When you mess it up, when you can't even recognize the path of the song just by throwing in chords because you just learned it from somebody else's scream or someone else's video. So look at the word reharmonize. Take off the take off the mize, and you look at the word harm. Don't harm a song that is established. Got that chord. Got my chords. Because I teach a song like this. Forgot my chords. Again, doing that reharmonization, I messed up my own chords. I like that. I've just messed up my chords. Now I gotta lock in again. Lord, I will lift mine eyes. What's the chord I usually hear? There it is. Those are the chords that I put to the song. There, my chord. Yes, when you, for me, speaking as a musician who is unskilled and unlearned and untrained by the professionals, but who is an avid listener to music that I can appreciate it. When I don't appreciate a song, when I can't understand the path of chords in conjunction to working against an established melody, then yes, that's when I do frown, and that's when I become that musician that says, hey, let me play the version I know. Respect the music. Excuse me. All right, so I think I have been enough here, and I'm probably talking too much now. But I do want to appreciate those of you who have been coming, and I like to always recognize those viewers who have supported me by coming in. And again, impromptu. It's always nice to have guests here. So let me recognize those that have come in and who have spent a morning into the afternoon with me. Switch the screen. Take off these headphones because I'm not gonna play anymore. But I do want to acknowledge and thank those that have come in. If you might just watch me, I'm just looking down at my screen. Stephanie Morris, Cecil Corey, Nas Keys, James, Blue Key, and I think, oh yes, I want to celebrate Stephanie Morris and her first super chat on a live stream. I see that right there, and I should have acknowledged that. Thank you for your support, and as always, as you always say, leave a comment to any video that I post, because I do get notified of every comment. If it's one that I can answer, then I will answer it, or at least acknowledge that I did read your comment. Comments are important to me. It lets me engage with the audience after a video has been posted. I'm looking at changing the format of what you're seeing here. Again, I'm an avid watcher, not only making my own videos on YouTube, close to 2,650 videos, I believe, right now. I have to go look at my count. But I watch other live streamers who started before me and where they are now, and how they have improved their overall look. Your support allows me to look into um, the next upgrade of this actual presentation. As you can see, I'm on this is my Streamlabs software. I normally use OBS when I do the lessons because it's quick and it's dirty. Lets me get in, make the video, get out. Streamlabs gives me this glowing thing around me, changing the scenes. I've got this flashing booklet. In fact, you're seeing the chord booklets that are available to those who are Patreon members. If you want to purchase them, they are available for purchase outside of being on Patreon. Join Patreon, you get them for free, but they are available in my online store and on my Patreon shop, which I do have now. Just let them flash there so you can see them. Those are this way. There we go. Move this. Got it right. There we go. Those are the books which were designed for new musicians purposely, but I put enough chords in it. Those chord books that you saw me showing you are just a glimpse of what I share, because I don't think I shouldn't have to know everything and have you wondering how I did it, but I can show you. What is that old saying? If you teach a person, if you feed a person a fish, you feed them for a day, but if you teach them how to fish, you feed them for a lifetime. And that's what I intend to do while I'm still in, they say, in the land of the living, as my mother used to say, is to give you everything that I know, but don't ram it down your throat, because then you will start to reject so much information. I'm an information sponge. I want to know, because then once I know something, as I say, when I go to the jazz YouTube channels and they're playing what I never learned, I'm now the student. And then I take that and I apply it to what I've learned, and I go, okay, you got this part of it right, that part of it wrong. Then if I express it to you, this is a jazz tone or jazz chord, a jazz movement. As I'm learning the number system, I was watching one YouTuber who was teaching jazz, and he was saying, well, this is the 2-5-1 in this key, the 2-5-1 in this key, 2-5-1 in that key. And I said, well, I've said that in the past. Then I got corrected and say, well, if you stay in the same key, now it becomes a 1-4. I'm like, well, okay, let me not get so tongue-tied with the number system. But I see a jazz person who teaches jazz, who is a jazz aficionado, say, every time you're playing these chords in different keys, wherever your bass note is, that is the new root key, and this becomes a 2-5-1 in that key. And I go, that's what I was saying. But again, I'm always here to learn so that I can then share. So thank you all. For those who are watching, I believe we have 4 viewers currently still online. If you've commented, thank you for your comments so I can acknowledge you. And as always, I often say, to make you sound joyful, don't ever fear practicing. In fact, embrace practicing. That is the only way that you can perfect what you're doing. Take care now, and who knows, I may come back later tonight live and share some more as I try to get myself into doing more live streams. Take care. Be blessed. Bye now.
My home